It has been over 3 months of living in Nha Trang, Vietnam. Now, what are my thoughts on the 3 month review that I do for every country that I've lived in or every city? Nha Trang, Vietnam is one of the cheapest places in the world. I call it the cheapest city because technically it is, but it isn't. Unless you want to live in Pakistan, which I don't think you really want to, this is the place to be. Accommodation is so cheap here. Like, it's outrageous. I pay $317 a month, 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom. I have a whole video on this exact apartment, which you can look up actually down below. And it is a beautiful place. All of the pricing I list on my channel is always in US dollars, so just be aware of that. Food is dirt cheap. You can get a burger and fries here for $2, $3, pizza $3. Everything is extremely cheap, with the exception of some imported goods, which is like any other country in the world. Taxis are cheap. It's like a couple of dollars to go around the place. Just everything that comes with cost of living in Vietnam, especially, is just dirt cheap, especially right here in Nha Trang, Vietnam. It's highly convenient. I'm getting things delivered online. I've got everything. I've got about 4 grocery stores below me. There's a gym there. There's a pool there. There's a beach 30 seconds walk. There's restaurant, international food. There's everything I need is here. And this is specifically in northern Nha Trang, which is where I recommend anyone that actually wants to live here should be. And the beach, talking about the beach is fantastic here. You can snorkel, especially in northern Nha Trang. It's very calm, snorkel, and you can go deep. There's a section which is really shallow if you want to walk out far, and there's a section which gets really deep pretty quickly. I hated the beach in Da Nang. It's the most overrated beach I've ever been to. You can't swim in it. People whistle at you. It's shallow. The waves are crap. Just, there's nothing good about the beach in Da Nang. Nha Trang, complete opposite. It's more beautiful. There's islands in the distance. It is great. I highly, highly, highly recommend the beaches over here. There's some really good nightlife here as well. Of course, it's not a major city, so the population's about 500,000 people, so you gotta temper your expectations. It's not gonna be like a Thailand, like a Bangkok or anything. It's not that. But it's for 500,000 people, there is some really good nightlife here. Depends on the season and the time of night, especially going clubbing, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock is where you wanna be. But there's some great bars, great cocktail, and it's just good nights out. And the different areas here, there are so many different areas and they're highly unique. There's the really local areas, kind of like south and really far north. And then you've got like the north where I live, which is its own city. And then you've got obviously the center where it's a lot more loud and a lot more going on. And you should go and explore them all, especially if you come here. It's really fascinating to see how every section of the city lives in completely different ways. It's a really beautiful and unique city as well in terms of it's really well laid out. The footpaths are great, everything's very manicured, all the plants, all the flashy lights on the building. It's like a lot of thought has been put into the place. There's been some other cities that I've come across in Vietnam where it's all just thrown together. This is not that. It's very well thought out, at least in the center and in the north. So when you're going there, you go, okay, well, this makes sense. This road will meet up with this road. It's not just walking on the road and back alleys all the time, which you can do. But in general, it's just well structured. So online shopping is good here as well. So you've got Shopee and Lazada, I believe it's called, which is very helpful to actually get things that you might not be able to get. The only problem which comes under the cons is that the apps here in Vietnam in general, with the exception of probably without any exception really, is nothing's in English. I don't know what it is with Vietnam and not translating apps into English. They'll put like the basic words, but there's no button or there's just nothing that automatically translates everything. So you still need to know Vietnamese. So if I type in beef mince into Grab, nothing's going to show up. I need to put in the Vietnamese. And Vietnamese isn't an easy language. Why hasn't any app done this? I've seen it in a lot of other countries which have automatically translated. And is the translation good all the time? Of course not, but it's better than not having it all. So that is a con. Cons is the Vietnamese wake up at crazy times, and that's not a problem unless you're like what I was dealing with at my last place, that at 8 a.m. playing karaoke. Now, the building I'm at has really good soundproofing for the walls, but it doesn't prevent bass. Bass goes through everything because it's vibrations. So imagine waking up to horrible singing at 8 a.m. for about 3 hours and then trying to go to sleep and hearing it all again. It's non-stop. Vietnamese can get very loud because they got big families and they get very excited, be very loud. So if you don't like the loudness, that might be a bit of a problem. And sometimes it does annoy me a little bit. But hey, I am in their country and I understand that. And here's a big one that everyone is always complaining about is visa runs suck here. You have to get a 22-hour bus ride. It sucks. I'm about to do it and I will film it for all of you so you can see, or you can get a plane. I did the plane option and you just basically take a holiday. There is another way that I might cover in a video which people are doing, which is a lot more convenient than both other options, but I will cover that later. But the visa run sucks. It is something you have to do every 3 months. Sanitization standards. It is atrocious here. There is no such thing as sanitation. When you go to especially a local restaurant, I will just, if I can see the kitchen at the corner of my eye, I'll just kind of like do this. You don't want to see how they clean things. If they clean, you just ignore it. I just normally get my own disposable chopsticks and stuff. Sanitization is horrendous here. You will get an iron stomach after a while. I've even seen my stomach getting better, and I have one of the weakest stomachs in the world. The heat and the humidity here is insane. It's more the humidity. It is 80-90% almost every day humidity. It is hot. Like, it's just sticky, it's gross, you're always sweating. You can do like very minimal activity and all you do is sweat, that sticky, sweaty feeling. Obviously, this isn't just to Nha Trang. This is pretty much in most places in Vietnam, but here it's pretty bad. And let's go to the non-exclusive to Nha Trang things. Food quality issues. It drives me nuts, but I've seen this in other places in Vietnam as well, is people just leave rotting things on the shelves. You'll go to a grocery store, there's something just rotting there, and they'll leave it. To put this in perspective, there's these red onions that have been rotting on the grocery store, on one of the grocery stores below me, for about a month now. And I know red onion's not used, and maybe they just don't really know much about red onion, but they've just sat there rotting for ages, and they've never been changed. People will just leave it there, unless it gets so bad that the bag is covered in mold, then they'll take it off. So that is an example of what food quality is like. Obviously, food will be left on the side of the road, kind of not refrigerated. It's just not very good. Traffic, this is the worst country in the world for traffic. I thought Georgia was number one. Vietnam is way worse. The traffic is horrendous. People drive on the wrong side of the road all the time. People go through red lights. There's no such thing as rules here. It doesn't exist. They're just guidelines that should be followed, which never are. Drive here at your own risk. Mosquitoes. Some people don't get bitten by mosquitoes. And hey, if you sit beside me when we're out, don't worry, the mosquitoes won't bite you. They will bite me. Mosquitoes love me. Even on day 1, I was eaten alive by mosquitoes. Day 2, I'm always eaten alive by mosquitoes. And people around me just won't get bitten. So they love me, which is great for you. Come sit beside me. And then another one would be English is poor. If you're dealing with like grocery stores and stuff, they can talk English, but it's not an unknown thing here that English is just not widely spoken, especially where Russian is the most widely spoken language besides Vietnamese here in Nha Trang. But any people that live in Vietnam don't speak Russian. They will speak English to you. So that is a huge plus. And plus the Russians, majority of them know how to speak in English. So a typical thing that happened to me the other day was someone comes up to me and talks to me in Russian. And I say, look, sorry, I only speak in English. And they go, oh, no problems. And then they speak in English. So there's no issue there. But if you have a pet peeve about speaking Russian or hearing Russian, which I know some of you do because you post it in my comments, which I don't understand, that is something that might bother you. But overall, I must say, after all of the 3-month reviews I've done on countries, with the exception of probably one which I haven't done a video on just yet, this is the best place to be. If you're looking for the best cost of living and your dollar going the furthest without sacrificing too much amenities or anything from your home country to an extent, this is the place to be. If you're looking for tax and stuff, probably not. I'd probably look elsewhere. But trust me, if you're looking to move abroad, Nyochang should be at the very top of your list to investigate. And you can do so with my whole playlist. I'm the only YouTuber that talks about Northern Nyochang and Nyochang because I'm the only one that lives here currently. So if you want to see a playlist on Nyochang, click right here.